Be here now. This moment is the most important one. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now. Just be here now.
Welcome to the Utah Business Spotlight. This is Peter Anthony. I am here today with my friend Kye Tanner. This is going to be amazing. I need you first to like, subscribe, share. I need you to get involved, comment, leave us some information about where you are, who you are, what you're doing, and how any of this applies to you. If it's hate mail or you're trolling me, awesome, baby. I love it. Let's go. Kye, welcome to the podcast. We're on Utah Business Spotlight, and we're spotlighting you today. Brother, we have an interesting story, right? First, before we start, tell everybody where they can find you.
So you can find me on all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, KyeTanner.com or KyeTannerSpeaks.com. We're all over YouTube, everywhere.
I love it, man. So we had connected some time ago. And as we were reconnecting, right, I had asked you for your phone number. I said, "Oh yeah, man, my business partner, who we're both friends with, had said, Kye, you should be on Peter Anthony's podcast." And I was like, "Oh yeah, man, you look super interesting. I've been following what you're doing. Mark's spoken about you." And then as I started to put your number into my phone, your name popped up. That's the really cool thing about marketing and energy. And I want to dig a little into today what you do, how you do it, how that came about. Because I know that you've worked in luxury real estate and financial planning. That's the business. That's where a tremendous amount of your cash flow and prowess come from. Super cool. Everybody says you're one of the best. So anybody who wants to increase their wealth, KyeTanner.com, crush it. But then you also started speaking and saw a need in the marketplace to speak about mindset. So share with the audience today, how did you create the bridge from wealth management to mindset and culture?
So great question, right? As you know, being in marketing, sales type industries like insurance and real estate, these are things that have a high and a super low. And so if you don't keep your mindset straight, that's a problem, right? So I spent a lot of years in real estate very successfully, and then the market crashed in 08, 09, and that was a difficult thing to go through, right? I realized that I didn't learn as much as I should have from people who had gone before me, and so I had to start listening and learning a lot of things they taught me. And one of them was insurance and finance and how important they were, and so I made the shift to those industries and have a successful agency that's mostly successful because of my team, which is wonderful. But as I had gone along through that, I picked up a lot of things, and a lot of people requested that I come and speak to their agencies or speak to their insurance offices or real estate offices about how I keep my mindset right and what motivates me and how do I keep my mentality in the right place.
I love that. So share with our audience today, what are the three things that you can identify or talk about? What are one or two of them at least that can show us as individuals if our mindset's not right, if we need a little bit of adjustment? What kind of things go through people's minds when they start to need an adjustment?
Well, one of the biggest ones that always come to mind first for me is their optimism or their lack thereof, which is granted by gratitude. And if every day you're waking up and you're worried about things and you're only thinking about the things that have gone wrong or that can go wrong, you're going to have a horrible day and you're going to have a horrible lifetime.
Oh, so what you're saying is if you're focusing on the negative, if you notice that that's becoming a pattern, then your mindset can be shifted by focusing on gratitude.
Absolutely. I start every day with gratitude. I think of 5 to 10 things that I'm grateful for every single morning when I start my day. If I start my day with gratitude, I'm going to end it with gratitude.
But Kye, let me ask you another question, and this seems pertinent because sometimes things are so bad. I don't feel like I'm grateful for anything. How do you find 10 things that you're grateful for every morning? Share that with us.
Practice. You have to start. Maybe you start with 1 or 2 things that you're thankful for, and something you're really thankful for. Maybe it's the smile on your son's face or your daughter's face. Maybe it's the fact that you have somewhere to sleep, somewhere warm to sleep. Maybe it's the fact that you have someone in your life that you love. And just really take a minute and be thankful for that.
Which is interesting. So I share with my children, because we talk about mindset and marketing as well. And on the idea of gratitude, one of the things that we say at our seminars, as well as the simpler the thing, the more grateful you should be. So it's easy for me to say, man, I'm grateful that this morning the sun is rising, because that's so simple and it's there and it can represent something. So now I found one thing. And the second thing is, man, I'm so grateful today it's raining and it's feeding the plants and it's filling up the lakes and the reservoirs. I'm going to be able to go boating and swimming. It's fantastic. We're going to have water next year to drink. Or if it's snowing, man, the ski is going to be out there. Businesses are going to be booming. So our philosophy, I think it's in alignment with yours. You can tell me if it's not. But our philosophy is everything you touch is an opportunity to be grateful for what it produces for the community and what it gives back to you. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. 100% agree. I think everything has to do with your outlook on life. And I think that the blessings or the positive things that you have in your life are directly proportionate to your ability to see them.
I like that.
So there's an old story that I grew up in a farming community, and one of the farmers taught me this story. He said there were scientists, and they put 2 kids in a room, one in each room. One was filled with toys, and one was filled with manure. Well, the kid that was in the room with toys had an amazing time for a while, and then toys started breaking, and he started being a little bit entitled, and he was complaining and crying. And the kid in the other room with the manure, it's a room full of manure, was jumping around in there, digging around, swimming around, and having a great time. And they asked him, well, you're in a room full of poo. What's so amazing? And he's like, with all this manure, there's got to be a pony in here somewhere.
I love that.
Right? So it's all on outlook. Is there a pony in there? Probably not, but it doesn't matter. He was having a good time, just the thought that there could be.
Yes, and I think it's interesting. I've heard, I thought the story you were going to share was a similar setup to one that I've heard, where these 2 twins were interviewed by Oprah Winfrey, and they grew up in the same room, same parents, in a upper middle class life, and they were being interviewed. And Oprah said, "Hey, how was it growing up?" to Tom, and Tom said, "Oh, Oprah, man, life was hard. Every time my parents made money, we lost it. Every time we got something nice, it got taken away. Every time we thought it was going to be okay, it wasn't." She asked the other twin, right? "Hey, Vincent, what was your life like growing up? It sounds pretty tough." He says, "Oprah, my life was amazing. Every time we had nothing, we made some more. Every time it got taken away, more came. It was incredible." Same life, same peaks, same valleys at the same time. And the way you define it is based on perception, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's what you're sharing with the manure thing, which I love. I've never heard that story, so I love it. Because, yeah, there must be a pony in there somewhere. And I think our responsibility is to find the pony.
Exactly. And that's exactly the whole point of the story is to find the pony. And again, even if it's delusion, as long as you're happy and you're directed in the right way and you're putting your energy towards positive things, that's the point.
That, you know what? You just gave me a huge shift, because I was working with a friend and a client this morning, and they were having a moment of delusion, but they were happy. And my natural masculine patriarchal tendency was to completely correct them and saying, this is not how it's defined. Yeah. You're not defined like this. That's not the definition of the word you just used. And then I took a deep breath and I realized that why would I pull them out of their delusion if they're happy?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think you just let people be happy when they are.
Yeah, find a way. So your real estate career, your financial career led you to speaking. Where are some of the favorite places you've ever spoke?
Really, one of the most favorite places I've ever spoken are at youth events. The youth of this day and age, they're just so smart and so bright, and in so many ways, they're light years ahead of where we were at their age. So really, youth events I really love. I wish there were more of them and more opportunity, because they're so teachable. You know, I mean, I have teenagers, right? We all
So do I.
right? They
I
can
have
be
3 of them.
they can be strong-willed, we'll say,
Brutal.
right? And so was I at that
Yeah.
age. But if you're able to talk to them right and you're able to understand them and listen to them, they can just take so many great things in, and there's such a huge impact can be made with a teenager who still has their whole life to lead.
Yeah, I think it's and I'm grateful because every Tuesday night, for many of you who know, at Bad Bet Production Studios, we host a marketing event, and my children are now coming with me, and they've seen me on stage for I've been on stage for 40 plus years, but they've seen me on stage their whole lives. They've come on stage, but every single time they come, they're like, "Papa, that was amazing. It's amazing how much you know about marketing." And now they start to ask me questions. The only thing I wish, and this is just a private wish, I wish I was speaking more on spirituality and connection and relationship to our faith, because I wish they had those same questions. And one of the things, the disappointments, is faith is so practiced so pragmatically here instead of practiced emotionally.
Yes.
You know, and I wish that that our church would practice the emotion of faith, which other churches are practicing and seem to have found that, you know, but still, it's wonderful to keep them under your wing and to see them blossom as human beings and grow up as strong men and women of conviction and understanding. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Tell me about your financial company, because I've heard so many great things about it. You're using multiple different vehicles to help people really solidify their finances and grow them. Share with the audience what that looks like.
Yeah, so I ended up in this industry after the market crashed, and expecting to never get into this industry. In fact, I said I'm never going to be in insurance and retirement planning. That's something I'll never do.
Right.
Here we are 11 years later, and I love it. So don't ever say you won't do something, because
I said the same thing. My father owned an insurance agency, and I was like, "Oh, that's the thing I don't want to do," and I wish I had done it.
Yeah. Well, it's been great, and it served me well, and I love to help people, and that's one of the ways that I've been able to help people is protect their financial future and help create wealth and protect that as well. So I own a Farm Bureau financial services agency, and we partner with RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, so we have the availability of all their financial products. And I have full-time wealth managers that work for me, that's all they do is help my clients know and understand and plan.
What if someone doesn't, how do they get started? Because the hardest thing, right, the middle class is growing. The exponential difference between the haves and the have-nots is widening. That delta is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger.
It is.
People know they need to start. How do they get started?
It's just simple. You just have to start doing something every month and do it consistently. It doesn't have to be big. You just have to start the habits, right?
So could I start with $100, $500? How do you get that going?
Easily, 25, 50.
Really?
Whatever, yeah. Like if you're in college and you want to put money away, but you've got student loans, we can map out what that looks like.
Cool. And when you map it out, are you using some sort of program so that I can see it and follow it?
Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, I love that, man. And you just said starting in college. Should anybody who's listening and that's in college, should they be looking to start to build that financial foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of planning you could do at any stage. Obviously, the earlier, the better. But if you map out, well, here's what it's going to look like. Here's your student loans. Here's how long it's going to take to pay them off. It might be more advantageous to put some money here at this point in time, maybe not. But there are different aspects to how that can be created, and it's kind of what gets me up in the morning.
I love that, and I love the power of compounding, right? Because
Yes.
I find that we're always drawn to the shiny penny,
Yes.
right? Instead of the dirty magic penny.
Yes.
And the story I tell at our seminars is, you know, if I put 1,000,000 pennies in front of you, which is $10,000, or I gave you this one magic penny and it doubled every day for 30 days, which one would you take? Let's say it doubled every week for 30 weeks.
I'd take the magic penny.
Everybody says they take the magic penny because they know it's a trick. But if you say, well, do the math. There's 1,000,000 pennies over here. Do the math. They get to 1 penny, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1,024, 2,048. And then it's like, hold on, 4,096. And then they can't do the math after 4,096.
Yeah.
And they can only do the math up to 4,096 if they're at about 115 to 20 IQ.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because the spatial time, the recognition, if they continued the process, it gets to on the 30th day. If day one is 2 pennies, on the 30th day they have over $1 million.
Yeah.
And that compounding interest. So if you said, okay, cool, we're just going to double your penny once a year.
Yeah.
What would it look like?
Yeah.
Right? The 30th year you have million.
Yeah.
Right? But you wanted the big room full of shiny pennies. And it's a really interesting way to go.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's where your mindset must have fallen in, because you can see when people are getting older, they didn't have the mindset, and now their mindset has them in a trap.
Yeah.
Like they don't know. It's like, well, I can't give up anything. Now I just have to earn more to maintain the lifestyle, but I'm not putting anything away. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I see that a lot. It's very common. And that doesn't mean that there aren't things we can do. Obviously, there are things we can do, and there's a lot of help that can be had for sure.
Yeah, I love that. And I see a lot of mismanagement of equity here in Utah, especially because I drive by homes, and next to the homes is a $150,000 RV and a $110,000 diesel dually to pull the RV, to pull the, right? And these are all depreciating assets.
Yep.
And I'm wondering why such a conservative state invests so highly in boats, cars, RVs, motorcycles, right? Quads, like a tremendous amount of depreciating assets.
Yeah.
And I understand the fun factor, but the math doesn't add up. I mean, I can rent an RV for $2,000 for the summer, and I could probably get a tax deduction if I went to at least one city where I did some business.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. There's a couple things at play there. One is that in this state, we have this massive keeping up with the Joneses theme that happens, which is super unhealthy. I've been a victim to that for sure and gotten sucked into that. But also the fun factor is a thing because we're very family oriented here,
Yeah.
and the time with the family is invaluable. You know, your kids are only going to be this age for a certain amount of time. And you know, my youngest is 17 now, and my kids are growing up, and they're flying the coop, and I look back at all those times, and you always wish you had more time with them, and you can't get it back. So I think that's part of the issue.
And I agree with that. And it's a hard understanding. Tell people where they can find you again, because this has been amazing. We've gone over by about 4 minutes. My team's given me the red light.
Yeah.
But this is such a seamless conversation. Would you consider speaking to our group ever?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to.
We'd love to have you on our stage. We'd love to get you back on the podcast, Kye. Where can people find you?
So KyeTanner.com, KyeTannerSpeaks.com. I'm also
Excellent.
on all the socials, just under my name, Kye Tanner.
Kye, I need you to do me one more favor. You're giving advice to the younger you, the 25-year-old you. You can tell them one thing. They have to remember it and apply it for the rest of their life. What are you telling them?
Be here now. This moment is the most important one. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now. Just be here now.
I love that. And honestly, out of 100 interviews, no one's ever said it. Take it to the next level. Be here now. Apply that to yourself today and to the future you. This is Peter Anthony. This is the Utah Business Spotlight. I'm with Kye Tanner. This has been amazing. Kye, thank you so much. Find him, follow him, talk to him. And if you're a company, get him in your company to speak. He's going to turn your culture around. You'll be more profitable and your people will be more happy. Kye, thank you so much.
Thanks, Peter Anthony.